Hey everyone, welcome to the Cashing In on Creativity Show. This is the show where we showcase artists, authors, musicians, learn about their life, learn how to improve your business, and get educated so that you can be successful in your own creative business. So check us out at cashinginOnCreativityPodcast.com, and let's get on with the show. Welcome to part 2 of our series with David Benjatschek about the photography business. In our last episode, we talked to David about how he got started in photography and some of the things that he's done along the way to develop his photography career. Today, we're going to talk about his photography career. We're going to talk about business in general and exactly what you want to find out if you are thinking about starting a photography business, or if you are somebody who's interested in learning about photography. He's got a program called Learn Photography Canada. Enjoy the episode. All right, Dave. So tell me about this inspirational story that I just read on LinkedIn about that I think helped start your company. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it helped start my company, but it certainly has provided inspiration to me. So my sister-in-law, it talks about the fact that you don't need to spend a lot of money to make a gift meaningful. So say hello to Positive Tomato. And that was my gift at birthday time. And
Okay.
so it's like a little stuffy. I don't know what's inside, but it just says Positive Tomato. I may be a tiny tomato, but I believe in you. Go do your thing. And actually, you know what? That's what attracted me to Learn Photography Canada, because when students took more workshops, when you asked them their feedback, potentially at the end of their journey, their feedback was they were very thankful for the camera skills that they learned, but it touched my heart because they would more talk about, I've gained confidence, I've overcome fear, it's affected other areas of my life, and so that's what grabs me. Like, I have coaches that are very technical, and I love it because they can tell you, if you had a Nikon camera, go to this screen, section 5, subsection 4, you'll find this little tweak that, adjusts the sensor in this way. And that's not me. I do this for people. I love seeing people find their passion. I know how to operate my camera, but this is my focus. Go do your thing. And so it led, and then this Christmas, the family expanded. So I've got the Positive Eggplant, I've got a fine apple, it's fine, you're fine, everything's fine. I've got an avocado that says you've guac this, and I have an emotional support pickle.
Well, it sounds like you're making a salad over there. I love it. You know what I love is because what you just mentioned here. I am the same way. I have a $5,000 video camera. I have a $1,000 camera. Like, I have some good equipment. I've got lights and mics and all that kind of stuff. And I'll be at a conference, covering a conference, and I've worked with a couple photographers, and they going, so what type of camera are you using? And I look at the side and I say, well, it says Sony. and they're like, and they go, I watched this YouTube about the latest lens. Okay, I have no idea what lens I've got. I could not tell you the number or nothing. I know what my camera does. I know what I need it to do, and I know most of the time I have forgotten to press a button or two, but most of the time I know which buttons do what, and that's all I want it to do. I actually don't care about the camera. I want the end product. I want the video or the conversation.
Yeah.
And I've had people say, how come you're not getting into, flying, what's the helicopter,
Drones.
the drones. They say, how come you're not getting into drones? I go, that's not what I do. I do interviews. I could care less about, drones footage is cool. I get that. But really, for what I do, I don't do weddings. I only do, for podcasts and conferences and stuff. So I'm not, I don't need that stuff. And as much as I don't, so I don't get into all that. It's funny because I could care less about the equipment as long as it works. That's what I want it to do, right? So
now, when you run a business, the truth is it's what your customer wants that's important. And so here's a couple things. If a weakness of any of us, like a weakness of mine, creates a need for someone else, then it's awesome, because I do have students, but it's a very small percentage, but I do have students who love to get into the techie stuff. And the beautiful thing is I've got a community of coaches that has that element to it, and I just point them to them. And I arrange for time with them. And so they're, go do your thing. they're free to be themselves and I'm free to be me. And so if your weakness creates a need for someone else that's communicated and starts community, it's powerful. And you want to leverage that, right? I don't be, don't be ashamed that you're not something. Focus on who you are instead of who you're not. Because we all have, I mean, yeah, you could fill these, my wife could fill these walls with lines of who I'm not.
Right, right. My wife too. We will not have them talk. No. So if someone needs to work with a coach and maybe it's not you, do they have to fly there, or can things be done over Zoom depending, like, do you do courses over like online?
Our focus are we do some coaching on Zoom, so that is possible, definitely. Our focus is in person, and because we're in a lot of major cities, people tend to drive into them.
So where would you like to, I know you got Learn Canada. Tell us all the places people should follow you or find you.
Yeah, on Facebook, Learn Photography Canada and Wow Trucks. So if you type in Learn Photography Canada, we have a public page that's about 6,000 people strong. And then we have a private LPC alumni group. So once you've taken a workshop with us, there's a private group where students are posting their photos, they're encouraging each other, giving each other feedback, helping each other grow. We do alumni events. So we're strong on Facebook. That is on Instagram as well. I do have a LinkedIn company page for Learn Photography Canada. And Wow Trucks follows much the same thing. Our Facebook page on for Wow Trucks, and you'll see that there's about 36,000 followers. And then there is a LinkedIn page as well. We do Instagram, so they can look up Wow Trucks, and they'll be able to find me. If you can't, David@wowtrucks.com. Send me an email. Gladly send you the direct links.
Awesome, buddy. It's always fun talking with you. Keep up the good work. You do amazing things. We're watching from afar, whether we comment or not. But I love what you do. Keep up the good work. And it's always fun talking with you.
Back at you, my friend Bruce. You're doing amazing things. And you are, I don't know how you do everything that you do either. Like you're just everywhere at all times. But you're leaving a legacy and you're making an impact, my friend. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Online? Our focus we do some coaching on Zoom, so that is possible, definitely. Our focus is in person, and because we're in a lot of major cities, people tend to drive into them. I haven't had anyone, well, sorry, for some of the weekend long workshops, I've had people fly in. We just had this amazing gentleman from Hungary who came and did a flash workshop, and it was utterly cool, and people flew in from all parts of the country to participate. But for the day-to-day or week-to-week workshops, they're on the weekend and people just tend to drive in. Most of them are within an hour's drive, but some people have driven a few hours to get there. Because, when you're, that person next to you, just being able to, teach you something, let you try it and fumble through it and be okay with fumbling and just get that immediate response that if you don't have that person on YouTube might take you 25 videos to get because you didn't know what to ask. That's gold, and love that.
And I can imagine. I mean, you're great on camera, but I know what you're like in person, and the energy in the room must be out of this world when you're doing a workshop. So I can tell things will probably get there. What's the biggest challenge you're seeing students have with photography these days? We've all got cameras. Everybody thinks they're a selfie influencer. What's the biggest challenge you're seeing in your workshops?
Yeah, they get overwhelmed by all the techie talk. Okay. And they forget that it can be simple. So, and that's the way I start when you're doing a beginner workshop. It's like, this camera does a million things. And if you turn on the menu in the background, you'll see 25 layers of, 10 items in each layer of menu items. But basically, there's three things about your camera that let you take 95% of your photos. And so after today, you're going to know those three things and you're going to be dangerous. And so we're going to simplify this. They overcomplicate it. Yeah. They really just overcomplicate it.
I remember my first, when I started my business, I took a photography class because that's all they offered in the area at the school I was at. I didn't want I could care less about the photography. I wanted to learn Photoshop was the reason I took the course. And because I was doing my comics back then, that's when it was going digital for me, just from traditional to digital. I wanted to color with Photoshop. So I actually wanted to just learn Photoshop. And I had just I didn't have an iPhone, but I had just a cell phone at the time. And he says, you can't do that with that. And I go, why not? It takes pictures. Anyway, it made me go I went and bought a nice camera, which I'm glad I did at the end of the day, but really I didn't need it, especially in today's world. We're all back to the phone again, right?
Yeah, there are certain things that DSLR cameras or mirrorless cameras, still let you do that phones don't do. But I've taught people with their phones
Yeah.
because that's where we live life. I love my Nikon, but I don't have it around my neck when life happens 24 hours a day. And I'm sure glad that I have my phone.
Let's talk about your Wow Trucks calendar. I think because this is something that I've seen you produce over the years, and it's really great. You mentioned that you got that kind of going on your own after your marketing career at Shell. Is that its own thing, or it's
Yeah,
pretty popular from what I'm seeing? Tell us about the Wow calendar and how you get your guests for those shoots. Because there's only 13 people you got on the calendar.
yeah. So it's a 13-month calendar, slightly oversized, high quality, to match the pride that these people put into their trucks. I tend to get it from trucking shows, or sometimes I'll get recommendations. People will phone in or email me and say, "Did you know about this particular guy? He's got a really great story. He's just super dedicated, super with it." You know what? At Shell, the 15 years taught me this. For truckers, it's not just what they do, it's who they are. It's in their blood. It's not an easy life.
Yeah.
So the average lifespan, you and I, Bruce, we're expected to live like on average 80 years. The trucker is like 61.
I know, and I'm at 62, and I keep telling my wife, I go, I don't know how long I've got. And she says, but you stopped driving 20 years ago. I go, yeah, but it's in your blood. Like it doesn't go away. So I don't know how long I got, but anyway, I'm
And
there
so
now.
it's like, try to suggest they could do something else and it's like no.
Yeah.
And that I could never do what they do, but that commitment is amazing. And they're seldom recognized except when things go wrong. Then they make the newspaper. And so this just validates people doing their thing. And so every single month in it, has a feature image, yes, but then also tells the story of the driver. And so the shows and recommendations, I just find stories. If you're out and about, you're gonna find stories.
Oh, yeah.
And I love celebrating them.
Yeah, no, it's great what you do. You've got some beautiful, but so how do you draw the 13 people that are in there? I mean, you must meet if you're like me, I get about 100 trucks at one show. Never mind, so you've got to pick 13. Is there like a selection process? How does that work?
Yeah, a lot of it is on the story.
Okay.
So, I meet a lot of people with a lot of beautiful trucks, but I want to celebrate beautiful trucks and beautiful people and people that have overcome and people that care and show you how to do it right. Learning from other people's examples is huge in life, no matter what you do. And so, like, yes, I'll meet a lot of people throughout the year that have great trucks, but certain stories will just stick with me and go, either this needs to be told so they're validated for what they've done, or it's just a great example of how to do trekking right amidst all the reports of in the news of
Yeah.
accidents and driver Inc. and all of these things that are happening. It's like, we got to talk about the good because those examples can be an example for people getting into the industry.
Thank you for doing that because I know in my podcast, I try to do the same thing. I keep it positive. I know there's enough crash stuff out there, but it's about celebrating the people. I've done that job for my whole life, basically. And
Mhm.
I know exactly what it's to. What's the trick to taking a good picture? Tell us, give me a tip because I take tons of them. My granddaughter's 14 years old. She's into photography and all that. I took her to some truck shows last year. She got all her volunteer hours in about 2 months with me at truck shows, and I was
Nice.
teaching her to do the featured trucks that we do and all of that, and how to film the trucks and the different sides and all that kind of stuff. What is a couple tips for those that are because everybody's taking pictures at shows nowadays? What's a couple tips for people when they're shooting vehicles?
Yeah, definitely. And this first tip, it doesn't matter what it is, but it has nothing to do with your camera. It's like find the light.
Yeah.
Photography is all about light. And so, right now on the screen, I'm kind of like side lit with some harsh lighting up here. That would not make a great picture. I would not put this picture of myself on LinkedIn, or in a camera, but it is all about light. And so, for trucks, and for people, I find that, they call it the blue hour and then the golden hour. So an hour after the sun technically rises, an hour before it technically sets, you start then. And what happens is the sun is not direct, it's not harsh light, but it provides like a soft box, like this beautiful, soft, warm light. And it just makes chrome shine.
Yeah.
It makes everything look beautiful. If even if it's front lit, well lit, if it's harsh lighting, you might get those white blotches in the truck's windshield and that are caused by the sun. Lighting is everything. So if there's harsh sun, go find some shade. That acts as a softbox. But if you can choose your time of day, then the blue hour just after sunrise in the morning and the golden hour at night, whether it's trucks or people, is amazing. And then the second tip is perspective matters.
Right.
So here's where you would not do the same in trucking as you would in people. If I wanted to wreck my business, wedding business in one shoot, I would go wide angle, with a bride, and I'd go right up close and I'd shoot up and I'd go smile.
Yeah.
Well, when you shoot wide angle and you shooting up perspective makes things look bigger.
Okay.
Brides do not want to look bigger. But trucks are called big rigs. And so lying on the ground, shooting up for a truck, instead of the bride that's going to shoot me for doing that to her, I'll have a trucker go, yeah, that's my big.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so perspective matters, shooting through a frame, not just, standing in front of the truck, but maybe there's this gorgeous tree and you can shoot through the leaves and provide a frame for that truck, or using leading lines. I don't know, we all have fetishes, right? One of my fetishes for photography is that yellow line down the middle of a road on a highway.
Yeah. Yeah.
and and when you're looking at a scene, your eyes are going certain places, and then you just need to step back and say, what's taking me there? And then put the truck in a place where that thing takes you to the truck.
Yeah.
And so perspective matters. Perspective, light is number one, perspective is number two. Even those two things, no matter if you're on automatic on your phone or on your camera, you're going to take better pictures.
Yeah. I know that you, with your wow calendars, people can actually purchase them, and companies can actually sponsor them. I know we've done that in the past, and the calendars are great.
Thank you.
My problem I have with the calendars is by the time I order and everything, they're gone. Like we're already past the dates. I have with all calendars. I've been asked to do calendars in my drawings, and I frustrate because of the way I do my draws and stuff. The calendars, like I almost have to think of it a year and ahead of time, and I'm not sure. But tell us how companies can get involved with your calendars and order them, because they are extremely great for, especially for trucking companies, to give away
Yeah.
to people. And then maybe if you want to give a tip on how we should order, so we can actually have people use them the year that they're in.
Yeah, that's it. Wowtrucks.com. And it's a 13-month calendar precisely for that. So when the year flips, you've still got a month in the old calendar. You've kind of got January is a double month. You can either use your old calendar or your new calendar, or have two calendars up on the wall and letting you know what's happening in January of that year. And so I love what you said. Typically I've shot throughout the year, so I'm producing the calendar in October. Companies can customize the calendar. I put a 2-inch strip at the bottom, and then I just put whatever combination of logo and brand messaging they want to do, so that it's visible 24/7, 365. But this year, I'm actually going to have the calendar done by June, so that companies can see exactly which trucks, and there's more time for them to make that decision, so they can do that. NAL Insurance has been a huge, supporter of that and doing that every year, and they've got a huge crowd. Glenn at NAL always talks about the fact that, yeah, this is not just a calendar. This is like a sales tool. It's kind of like a warm call, because there's stories of people know. They're not just stock images of trucks that people don't know. There's people. And invariably, he says, as salespeople go into an office, give this calendar to someone that they're just meeting, and as they're flipping through it, they'll find someone in common.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it starts conversations. And so that's what it does. I haven't done a formal survey. It's nice to have a calendar on the wall. I admit that most people use the calendar on their phone, but this is not just about the grid. This is about the stories, and the celebration. And so there's a dual purpose that keeps it going.
You might want to think about changing this, just as just an observation from my side, because I get quite a few of these calendars from different people, different companies that I see, and I can't put them up. I have absolutely no wall space at all because I'm an artist. That doesn't help. And we live in a building that's concrete. I cannot move a picture. I can change the picture. I cannot move the hole because it's such a major operation to drill a hole in this place. So I get these calendars and I'd love to put them up because I love the trucks, but I actually don't have room. You should think about either a generic calendar or maybe get rid of the calendar and keep it more of the store, because something that can be given out all year, it doesn't matter which year it's in or which year, because that's appealing to someone like I love the calendars are absolutely awesome. I am not just saying that because David's on. They are really good. The problem I have is that by the time I get them out, the dates are gone. It's like, oh, you're giving us last year's calendar. I go, no, I'm not. I really just bought them. So that's been my challenge with with calendars in general,
Yes.
even in general. But if you somehow made it, because I love the photography you've got. I love the story part of it. I'm really big on that. I almost think either that or just put boxes, no numbers, so we can give them out all year, every year,
And
whatever.
erase and draw it in. It's
Yeah,
like a whiteboard.
let people put their own numbers. If you think about it, most people are not using it as a calendar, so maybe just get rid of the number. Put something else that they can use, like maybe notes, inspirational notes every month, like you do. Like I'll leave that with you. I know you're talented enough to do that, but so people can order it at Wow Calendar. So when should we order
Wowtrucks.com.
Wow Trucks?
So WOWTRUCKS.com.
So when should we order these so that they're most effective?
Well, for companies,
we order them now, but you don't have them produced yet.
yeah, though they're produced already for 2026, right? So I produced those. They were available in October. Next year for 2027, they'll be available in June for the to order for the generic calendar, and companies can then look at it and go, okay, do I want to customize this? And we'll do a custom run for companies.
Okay.
And so they can order as early as, well, they can start talking right now because, as I'm out doing these shoots, if companies are supporting me, I'm going to be shouting out to them. And so that's a company's chance to be part of the shoots and to be part of the lives that I do and just to be celebrated for being part of the calendar. I want a family of community to be celebrating these stories. And so then if you're an individual buying a calendar, they've traditionally been available after mid-October to order. And even though it's January 2026, if you have a calendar, of course, you still have something up on the wall. Your wall isn't bare, and you just replace it with the calendar that you can order now. You'll get it by February 1st. But if you're a company, let's chat, and you'll have your calendars by September so that you can intentionally with your sales force be out there, using them to say, here, well in advance, here's what's going up on your wall. You're going to love it. And by the way, hey, I didn't know you knew Rick.
That is awesome.
And just using that as a sales tool, because stories unite us.
Yes. I love the calendars. Like I say, I struggle with when to give them out and all that stuff. So we have monthly draws. So if I wait 12 months, the person's already into next year. Anyway, where would you like people to go and follow you, David? We talked about a lot of things on the show today. So where would you like to? I know you got Learn Canada. Tell us all the places people should follow you or find you.
Yeah, on Facebook, Learn Photography Canada and Wow Trucks. So if you type in Learn Photography Canada, we have a public page that's about 6,000 people strong. And then we have a private LPC alumni group. So once you've taken a workshop with us, there's a private group where students are posting their photos, they're encouraging each other, giving each other feedback, helping each other grow. We do alumni events. So we're strong on Facebook. That is on Instagram as well. I do have a LinkedIn company page for Learn Photography Canada. And Wow Trucks follows much the same thing. Our Facebook page on for Wow Trucks, and you'll see that there's about 36,000 followers. And then there is a LinkedIn page as well. We do Instagram, so they can look up Wow Trucks, and they'll be able to find me. If you can't, David@wowtrucks.com. Send me an email. Gladly send you the direct links.
Awesome, buddy. It's always fun talking with you. Keep up the good work. You do amazing things. We're watching from afar, whether we comment or not. But I love what you do. Keep up the good work. It's always fun talking with you.
Back at you, my friend Bruce. You're doing amazing things. And I don't know how you do everything that you do either. Like you're just everywhere at all times, but you're leaving a legacy and you're making an impact, my friend. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that interview with David Benjatschek. You can learn about him at Wow Trucks, or you can find him at Learn Photography Canada, and of course follow him on socials, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you need a photographer or you want to learn about photography, David's a great place to get started. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Thanks for listening to the show. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe and follow the show on our socials. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, and TikTok. And also you can subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Thanks for listening to the show, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.